let's talk about filming day and studio gear prep because the gear is everything and the gear is going to give you trouble. But the more that you can problem solve on the front end, the better. So, the biggest thing, this is so key, this is so pivotal, is two different areas. Number one is batteries, and number two is making sure that you have enough media storage. There is nothing more frustrating than when you think you're good, but your camera is going to die in 20 minutes because you either don't have the battery power anymore or you've run out of space on your SD disk or SSD drive. Nobody wants that. Will that happen to me today? The thing is we got to check that to make sure that there's enough space because you put in all this work to set up your studio gear. You want to make sure you can actually get through an entire shoot. So when you get to your filming location, you need to make sure that you have a clean backdrop. Did you have the ability to either set up a backdrop? Does it need to be steamed? Does it need to be ironed? Is there props or anything beautiful that you need to make sure is in shot and is in frame? How is your lighting? How many soft boxes or umbrella stands do you need to put up? Do we need to adjust them? Do we need to make sure that everything works once you are sitting there? Making sure you have the right stool or chair, or are you going to stand? Can you make sure you don't sway when you stand? Everybody sways when they stand, so watch for that. It's good to be anchored somewhere to make sure that your shot list is clean. The next thing is, what about your audio? Checking that in the room. Every single room has its own room tone. Are there trains going by? Are there lawnmowers going by? Is there a playground nearby? What does it actually sound like once we're in the space and we check the lavalier and we can make sure that we feel good about the way that it sounds? The next thing is checking your video camera. Check your white balance. If you need to learn what white balance is inside of your own camera, I would recommend YouTubing white balance with the name of the camera that you have purchased for yourself. That just makes sure that you have a clean setting that is actually accurately picking up light the way that you want it to, that is focused the right way. Now, one of the last things you're going to be checking is what is in frame and out of frame. I actually recommend shooting a bit wider than you need because in editing, you can always bring it in a little bit tighter. But once you have something, you can't expand it out more. Often, what I do is I try to set everything up that I can the night before a shoot, and I do a test sample. So I'm going to run one video easily. I know this is not one that I'm going to be using for my final course, but I can set it all up, know where everything goes, run it, and then put it into my editing software. And I can see, like, is that right? Is that what I needed? Do I need to make adjustments? Was my audio clean? Was there a buzzing? You know what happened to me once? One time I found out that my camera was plugged in to a line, and in the building, it wasn't grounded. So there's this buzz on the line that none of us could actually hear. You can only inside of the recorded equipment or inside of the recording, you could hear that buzzing. How was I supposed to know? I would have died if I had done 4 hours of filming and then found out that buzzing was there. So do a sample, do a check, make sure that your lighting is right, not overexposed or underexposed. Actually do an edit, see if you like the way the final product comes out, and then you know that you are golden. You can show up the next day, hair, makeup, do what you need to do, sit in the chair, run with it. That kind of security is fantastic.